purpose of my speech today is to persuade you to stop drinking bottled water. In my speech, I will discuss water in general, then we'll address bottled water, we'll cover reasons why people drink bottled water, then we'll explore some myths about bottled water, and lastly, I'll give you some alternatives to bottled water. Let's begin by looking at water. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, water is H2O, 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen, nothing more. Water is considered the universal solvent because it dissolves more substances than any other liquid. Water has a pH of 7, which means it's not alkaline and it's not acidic. And it's the only mineral substance found in all 3 states: solid, liquid, gas, ice, water, vapor. You might find it interesting to know that 2/3 of our body is water. A full 83% of our blood is water, 75% of our muscle, 74% of our brain, and 22% of our bones. Water ensures smooth functioning of the body system. Water also helps in the digestive system. It flushes out waste, it aids in enhancing skin, it keeps the heart healthy, and should you want to lose a little bit of weight, drinking hot water with a little bit of lemon will aid in achieving your goal. Dehydration is the term meaning lack of water. When we are dehydrated, it causes poor blood circulation and causes the brain to be less active. Let's explore the bottled water industry. I'll name Aquafina, marketed by Pepsi; Desanti, marketed by Coca-Cola; Perrier, marketed by Nestle; Fiji, Evian. These are all names we're familiar with. We can recognize the bottle half a room away. The industry itself is about 15 years old. And in the year 2000, U.S. consumption of bottled water was in the neighborhood of 3.4 billion gallons. So let's explore now why we drink bottled water. First, there's the belief that it is purer than tap water. There's the belief that it tastes better. There's certainly the convenience factor. We don't have to go around, find a tap water, a soda, a water fountain. We can simply crack open a bottle and drink. But let's not lose sight of peer influence. We are trying to perhaps impress our friends, make a fashion statement, if you will. There's the bottle design. You know how Fiji looks, that square bottle? How about Voss, that straight cylindrical bottle? And of course Poland Spring, the ever popular Poland Spring, which is a 3-cornered design. Everybody recognizes it. Having said that, now let's explore some myths about bottled water. There's the belief that bottled water is purer than tap water. But you might want to know that 25 to 40% of bottled water is actually tap water that's been filtered and minerals have been added. You should also know that bottled water is regulated by the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, whereas tap water is regulated by the EPA far more stringently, the Environmental Protection Agency. If you're really looking for pure water, you might want to explore distilled water. What is distilled water? Distilled water is taking any water, putting it in a canister, adding heat, getting it to a boil, the vapor comes up, and you put a glass at about a 45-degree angle. The vapor condensates on the glass and drips down, and it's collected here. What's here is pure water. What's left here in the canister are the minerals that have been in the water. So what you have is pure water. Pure water is absolutely tasteless. You might even think it tastes bad, but the fact of the matter is that's what water tastes like. It's generally used to put into irons because irons create the vapor, so you create the steam so you can iron better, but in fact, it's used so that it doesn't clog up the iron, doesn't ruin the iron. There's also the belief that bottled water tastes better than tap water. The fact is that what adds taste to water are the minerals, things such as sodium, calcium, magnesium, and chlorides. Repeated taste tests have proven time and time again that New York City tap water, when compared to any form of bottled water or other cities' tap water, New York City tap water tastes the best of any of them. And if we were truly to conduct a taste test, the differences would be imperceptible between tap water and any brand of bottled water. There's also the belief that enriched water is healthier. According to an NYU professor of nutrition, the health claim is too small to actually make a difference. It contains sugar and calories. As a matter of fact, it has more calories than diet soda. But if you're looking for electrolytes to rejuvenate energy and electrolytes that have been lost, you might want to consider pickle juice. Yes, pickle juice. Take out the pickles, throw them out. What you have is, the remainder is a liquid filled with electrolytes. Some believe that bottled water is better for the environment because it can be recycled. According to the Plastics Recycling Institute, only 14% of water bottles are actually recycled. That means that 86% goes directly into landfills. And if you think for some reason we need to recycle plastic because we're running out of it, think about this. Plastic is a byproduct of manufacturing gasoline. As long as we make gasoline from crude oil, we will have plastic. It's not something we're ever going to run out of. What about the ecological cost of bottled water? There's the cost of manufacturing, there's the cost of storage, there's the cost of distribution. Take a look for a minute at Fiji water. Fiji bottles are made in China. Once they are manufactured, they're shipped over to Japan, where the bottles are filled, and then they are shipped to the United States. Think of the energy that's consumed and all the pollution that's created in the manufacturing of a Fiji bottle. Bottled water is extremely expensive. It costs $2 on the average. Fancy restaurants will charge you upwards of $7, whereas it's free from tap down the hall. What might be some alternatives that you could consider to bottled water? Well, you could consider emptying out a bottle and filling it with tap water. Very smart. You have better taste, you have purer water, it's better for the environment, and you continue being in fashion. If you choose one of those fancy bottles, people will still think you're cool. You might also want to consider seltzer or club soda. Why? It adds a little bit more benefit to water. In drinking seltzer, what happens is it cleans out your mouth. The food particles. Bubbles will dislodge food particles that might otherwise cause cavities. It also aids in digestion. When you think about it, what is Alka-Seltzer? Aids in digestion. Those bubbles help turn the food inside your digestive system and helps that out in that regard. And it's the same properties as water, nothing else added other than CO2, carbon dioxide, which is a gas. So in conclusion, I want you to know that water is a necessary part of life. Clean water is essential for good health. Bottled water, on the other hand, is a fabricated consumer demand. There's absolutely no need for it, especially when it's available free from a better source. It has no intrinsic advantage over tap water whatsoever, and it has a definitive negative impact on the environment. So I suggest this: either learn to like distilled water, refill your empty bottles, or lastly, adopt seltzer or club soda, which you can make at home. So next time you're thirsty, remember, the purest water is distilled water. The cheapest water is tap water. The best tasting water is New York City tap water. The most environmentally friendly water comes in reusable metal containers, and the healthiest water is seltzer. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get off the bottle. Thank you very much.